Port Adelaide can punch their ticket to the playoffs as we return to live softball action. Game 3 of a triple header of live stream action in the Premier League's Pride Round here in Adelaide, South Australia on beautiful Ghana land. Port go against the team that would be chasing them for that final spot in Walkerville Cats. Eric Molnar, Lee Hull on the call. Lee, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Eric, and it's lovely to be with you. It's a beautiful day at West Beach, as per normal. A little bit of a breeze blowing, tempering the temperature.
It is a gorgeous day for softball, and here's the Port Magpies and the Walkerville Cats head-to-head. It's a 3-0 series lead on the season for the Magpies. They'll play each other one more time after this. Form in the last 5. Magpies, interestingly enough, they started off 7-1 this year, and they've kind of played 500 softball since then. But when they have their best available lineup all here and ready to play, it might be one of the best lineups in the competition.
Yes, I think that's perfectly correct, and it all starts with the pitching, doesn't it, really? You have a pitcher of the class of Johanna Grauer and people like Steph Trzynski for West Torrens, and, of course, Millie Fidge for Sturt. The previous game was won by Sturt 6-1. That's a bit of revenge, because the last time I think they played, West Torrens beat them 9-2, so a bit of revenge there for the Falcons.
It's a pretty simple formula. Walkerville have 5 more games to go. They've got 14 points on the ladder. The maximum points they can get is 24. Port Adelaide have 22, so if Port Adelaide win today and Walkerville lose, mathematically Walkerville cannot catch Port Adelaide, and Port Adelaide will be the 3rd team to punch their ticket to the finals with still 6 games to play for the Magpies. And if it wasn't already, Walkerville really is in that battle with the Hills Heat. They played 1 more game than the Hills. Hills have 3 more points than them. So Walkerville need to win this game, and they need to win a couple of games to try to move themselves into that final spot.
They certainly do. Well, they've got, it's in their hands, isn't it, Eric? And you'd like that as a team. They've got probably their strongest lineup today, Walkerville.
If Walkerville have their strongest lineup, so do Port Adelaide. They will welcome the 2 additions to the lineup. One has already played 1 game, Jess Neves. We've known her name for a while. She's been on the Stars before. Spark plug middle infielder that can also play outfield and has made some highlight reel plays. But the big one today is the debut of their first basewoman, Elizabeth Engler, an American who is joining us in South Australia.
She is, and she's come over here for a few months, I've been told by officials of the club, Port Adelaide. They train at Henley and Grange Baseball Club. Port Adelaide do softball, and Elizabeth is a partner of one of the baseballers at Henley and Grange. So we won't name that player, but she met her partner playing in Germany for the same club. So that's interesting, and she had a stint in the European Cup. She's a pitcher first base, bats right hand, arrived in Adelaide only on Thursday, looking for a game, and lives in the Port District. So that's a bit of a rundown on the girl.
She pitched a few seasons of NCAA softball over at Liberty University.
Is that in California?
Yeah, and then she transferred over to North Grenville University. She pitched 5 seasons there overall. One of them was short because of COVID, and then recently just finished at the Bond Capitals. However, starting today is a former Port Adelaide Magpie, Michaela Yankovich, one of the younger starting pitchers in the competition. Those are her numbers on screen. She's had some really solid games. She's had some games she probably would like to reconfigure, but it's been a learning process for young Michaela this year.
For young people, it's all about learning, grasping the information you get. Work hard and you'll get there, and I'm sure she will.
It does feel like both teams have presented their best possible lineup going forward in this game. Take us around the diamond, Lee Hull, for how Walkerville lines up defensively.
Thank you, Eric. It's Jenny Gray at first. Desi Gia Morales is at second. Third base, Sophie Roberts. In the hole at shortstop, Steph Collette. The outfield from left to right, Sophie King, Bianca Ramsey, nice to see her back, and Erin Reid.
Batting lineup for Port Adelaide.
And the batting lineup, Amelia Dolphin, followed in by Taylor Chillingworth, then the power of Grauer, then the razzle-dazzling of Maslin, and then there's the 2 young guns, Charlize Callahan, Chili's going up, so it's Elizabeth Engler, our USA visitor. We wish her well. Taylor Oates, Charlie Nash, and Jess Neves, nice to see her back after motherhood, and that does their lineup.
if you've got a lineup that has Jess Neves batting number 9,
you're doing all right.
That's a pretty good lineup. Amelia Dolphin leads things off, and what a revelation she has been this season. This is really her first full, healthy Premier League season, and she's hitting .373 this year. She's got 5 extra base hits. She's been solid.
Yeah, she certainly has, but don't lose sight of the fact that Gemma Letton, an excellent player, is not here today. She usually leads off.
Long hit over towards center field and ranging over to make the catch. Bianca Ramsey brings it in. It's 1 down. It is a good point, Lee. No Gemma Letton. That would probably be their best possible lineup Port could have if they would have Gemma in the lineup, and she has been leading the team in batting this year, hitting a remarkable .595, so that is a fairly key out.
That was an outstanding play from Bianca Ramsey. What skill. Looking in the sun, high ball, wafting away with the breeze, took it.
Taylor Chillingworth up to bat. Yeah, this ballpark directly facing west. The water right, if you're looking on your camera right now, if you just kept drawing a straight line, you'd eventually hit the water.
Yeah.
And it is getting later in the afternoon in South Australia, so that sun is in a very difficult place for any center fielder, and Bianca Ramsey made a very good catch. Chillingworth chops this foul.
It's a strong-looking batting lineup, isn't it? As you go through it, Dolphin, Chillingworth, Grauer, Maslin, Callahan, and the girl from the USA, Elizabeth Engler. Look forward to seeing what she can bring.
Taylor Chillingworth's batting average starting to creep up a little bit over the last few rounds. It's been a big break. You go through about a month stretch of no softball over the Christmas break, and then in January, and teams really only returned to action a week ago.
Yeah, and it's a very quick second half of the season till we get to finals.
Yeah, teams only have a handful of games to go. Michaela Yankovich scoops it up, fires it over to first base to Jenny Gray, and it's 2 quick outs for Michaela Yankovich. Yankovich did pitch for Port Adelaide last season.
Yeah, she came from Walkerville the previous season, I think, from memory.
First pitch strike of 60% are her first pitch strike rate this year.
Here's a girl with some power hitting.
Joanna Grauer.
Yeah, it happens with pitchers, though, don't it? Because they have to be strong people. They have a lot of work to do on their bodies to get the power, and she's certainly got it. Just like Steph Trzynski for one, Millie Fidge another one, Georgia Hood another one, gone to the college system.
And she shows that power going opposite field, but ranging over to make the play is Erin Reed. So it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Michaela Yankovich as Yo Grauer flies out. So a very fine start for the young pitcher in the circle for the Cats. Well, Port Adelaide minus Gemma Letton have a pretty solid lineup, and their infield is certainly one to probably rave about today. So before we get to the pitcher, let's take a look around the diamond, Lee Hull, how Port Adelaide line up.
Okay, thank you, Eric. At first base, it's our American friend Elizabeth Engler. Second, it's Jess Neves. Third, it's Charlize Callahan. At shortstop, Taylor Chillingworth. Left field, it's Taylor Oates. Centre field, Amelia Dolphin, correction. And at right field, Charlie Nash. And the battery, Johanna Grauer to Jess Maslin.
And it's a formidable battery. It's two CAF Coral medalists, MVPs of the competition, leading vote getters, and Yo Grauer has appeared in 11 games this season. Her numbers are pretty solid. She's got a 7-1 record, Lee, when she pitches in games this year. She's played in 11 of those, and Port Adelaide have 11 wins on the season. A lot of those correlate to when Yo is in the lineup, both as a batter and a pitcher, and she's got pretty solid numbers this year. Look at those strikeouts, 90 and 53 in the third innings.
Rangy type of a person, Engler, isn't she? Like
over at first?
Yeah, the sort of player that would make a good pitcher, and she states that she's a pitcher, or the club says, and she's a first base, and she's got the reach. So that's good. She looks like she's enjoying herself.
Well, the big thing for this edition of having Elizabeth Engler, who's over at first base, is that Yo Grauer often isn't available for midweek games. And I know that it kind of changes when finals comes around, but now you have two legitimate pitchers and someone that one can pitch on weekends and one that can pitch in the middle.
Yeah, and last night up in the hills, I believe we saw the girl from New South Wales, Charlie Orsini, I think, and it was a 0-0 ball game.
Jade pitched well, didn't she?
Yeah, Jade. She's a marvel, isn't she, Jade? I saw her last Saturday, a week ago, just hold West Torrens hitting down to 1 run.
Looked like a raucous atmosphere down up in the hills for that game as we kicked off Pride round, and what a round it is. Sophie King leads things off. Yo Grauer has the ball in hand in the circle for the Magpies, and the Walkerville Cats. Bottom of the first is underway, and Sophie King pops down a bunt, ranging down the line. And Jess Neves moves over and takes in the ball for the first one. Sophie King can do that. She's got a lot of speed, and she tried to test the Magpie defense very early on.
Well, Elizabeth Engler was right onto that because she was playing well down, and she's going back to her set position, which is right down the line. So they may be expecting something here.
Steph Collett up to bat. Lee, take us through the Walkerville lineup.
Yes, thank you. It's Sophie King, Steph Collett, Desi Giamarellis, Chelsea Robinson, then batters 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, Roberts, Sophie, Jenny Gray, Bianca Ramsey, Michaela Yankovich, and Erin Reed.
As a team, they're batting .259. In comparison, Port Adelaide batting .302. Defensively, they have an .888 save percentage, or fielding percentage rather, and Port Adelaide have a .914 fielding percentage. So quite a decisive difference between the two teams, and not a surprise that there's 8 points separating them on the table right now.
No surprise at all, Eric. Very good point.
Steph Collett. She made a big return back to the competition this year after spending some time in the States playing college softball as well.
She would have learned a lot there, wouldn't she? Surely. It's a strong system, isn't it, the college system in the US?
Just a lot more at-bats and innings defended than what you'd probably get the opportunity here. Back to Engler. So Engler, a ball magnet to start this game. 2 plays go over in her direction, and it's 2 up, 2 down to start for Yo Grauer in the circle.
And that'll feel good for Elizabeth, won't it? Just in the play straight away.
Desi Giamarellis, one of the wonders of softball in South Australia. She's had a storied career so far, hasn't she?
Yeah, the two most senior players for the Cats are Sophie King and Desi. And they're still going, still loving doing what they're doing.
When this lineup gets ticking, Walkerville, they can slug it with the best of them.
They certainly can.
But they've just been a little inconsistent this season, the Walkerville Cats.
It probably comes with age too. You have a lot of young players coming through the system. It takes a while to gel.
You think back to just a few rounds ago, a couple rounds before Christmas, Walkerville, they beat Sturt in one of their games, and it looked like maybe they were kind of turning a corner a little bit after a string of losses, and they backed it up by dropping a close game to Glenelg, who have only won a couple games this season. So
it's finding that consistency is the hardest thing, and it's the same in all sports. You know, you've got a consistent side. It's a big plus.
When they're on, they can beat the best, but when they're off, anyone can beat them too.
Well, that's true. Maybe they wouldn't be able to beat you and I together, Eric. I've heard you're got a dab hand at baseball.
4 for 5 today, Lee Hull.
Yeah, what grade?
We won't mention that. Desi Giamarellis scooped over towards first and just easing it into the basket. Yo Grauer makes the play. So both pitchers kind of trade 1, 2, 3 innings to start this game.
Yeah, good start of the game.
Look at the leading team's replay. Well, don't forget that this is Pride Round. Fantastic initiative down here in the softball competition.
I have my shirt on, but I don't see you with yours. It must be still in the washing machine.
I've got the rainbow on the shirt.
Oh, the rainbow, yeah, sorry.
I do. But minus 18, that is the charity that we are trying to all get around and support. This that West Torrens Softball Club, they put this forward, so a lot of funds are going towards that this year. We're trying to reach the goal of $500, and I know a few teams are doing some things and they'll add to that tally, but we would encourage everybody to go to Give Now and search minus 18, or if you're watching this on Facebook, the comment is pinned right now in the comment section of this live stream. Any amount helps. $1, $2, $5. Whatever amount of dollars you want to do.
A worthy cause, please support it.
I'll make a pledge right now. I will, where are we at? We haven't got it. Yo Grauer, she gets a lot of strikeouts. I will I will pledge $2 for every strikeout Yo Grauer
Well, that's fair
gets
enough.
tonight.
How many she got so far?
She's got 0, but she'll get some. She'll get some. She's
Maybe
one of the
by the end
strikeout leaders.
Maybe by the end of this commentary, you'll tell us what grade you're playing.
Should we make
baseball.
it? Should we make it $3?
You can.
I will. What about you, Lee? Are you gonna pony
no,
up?
I bought $20 worth of raffle tickets.
Well, there we go.
And a
So
shirt.
Yo Grauer, the challenge is on. That's what I'll donate. $3 for every strikeout Yo Grauer has. Jess Maslin will lead things off for Port Adelaide in this inning. She's made a transfer over to the Magpies after spending the last many years over at Seacombe. And she's having a really nice year. She's hitting .326. She's shown some power. She's got 2 bombs this year.
The beauty about this girl as a catcher, she will throw herself around for these little pop flies that go in foul territory. She will give you 100% every time, every pitch.
Yankovich gets her looking. So Michaela Yankovich takes a big scalp early on.
I don't think the batter Jess was over-impressed.
You know what, Lee? I'll up the ante. We'll just call it, I'll give $3 for every strikeout in this game that a pitcher
okay.
throws. So everybody gets swinging.
Well, it's nice to be sitting next to a man with plenty of wealth.
All for a good cause, Lee, as this is jammed up in an awkward spot. Steph Collett laid out, but Charlize Callahan is going to find herself on first base. I certainly encourage anybody else that's watching at home to please join the parade.
Put
Just
your
give me a
hand in your
comment.
pocket and come out with some cash or card.
Well, why not, you know what, why not do the pledge?
Yep.
People from all around the world can do this too for Pride Round. Great cause.
Here's Elizabeth Engler batting now.
Elizabeth Engler making her South Australian softball debut. Just finished a season with the Bond Capitals where she bat and pitched. She had an average of .456 in her 35 at-bats this year with Bond.
You'd take that.
Ranked second most in the competition with strikeouts in the circle.
And that.
And she had a pretty good fielding percentage at first base, .979 fielding percentage.
And also that.
You take all of that?
I think she's
What about
going to be a big plus for the Magpies.
What about a 4+ year career in NCAA softball?
I think so.
Does that add up for you, Lee?
It does, yes. You're so convincing, sir.
Well, Michaela Yankovich will have to pitch fine to her. It's 2 balls and 1 strike versus Elizabeth Engler. Drifting up high, so Yankovich now in a little bit of a hole behind 3-1.
The problem is with young pitchers, when you come in and they let you know there's an American's turned up here, then you start pitching very carefully.
Only 28 walks on the season for Michaela Yankovich, which is a pretty good number considering she's pitched 70 2/3 inning entering the game. So she does fill up the strike zone,
Yep.
especially for a young pitcher here. But this is a great challenge for her. Elizabeth Engler with a runner on base. Her first at-bat in the South Australian Premier League here on Pride Round, fouls one away, so she's going to battle right now.
Yeah, that was a good pitch then. Just cramped her up a bit. Can Liz do the biz here, you think? Possibly. Liz is short for Elizabeth Eric in Australia.
I'm aware.
I just
There's a few short forms, but thank you very much, Lee.
We do shorten things up. Good
But
job.
Michaela Yankovich gets Engler to swing through it.
It cost you $3.
It cost me $3, but it goes to a great cause.
Of course.
So that's 2 strikeouts for Yankovich this inning. That's $6 that I'm donating now.
Here's a girl that can hit the ball, Taylor Oates.
To -18. Taylor Oates up to bat. You like Taylor Oates, Lee?
Yeah, I think I've seen her hit a couple of hard shots, which will be handy batting down the order, 7, 8, 9. as you say, everything's fine if it's 7, 8, and 9, or words to that effect.
7, 8, 9, get it done. That's how games are won. It'll go on my tombstone.
Yeah, I know. You know what's going on my tombstone?
What?
I told you I was sick. And another thing's going on there. Repeat of earlier message.
Repeat of earlier message. Yeah. I think I was waiting for that. Repeat of earlier message. 2 strikeouts this inning for young Michaela Yankovich. Oates grounds it up the middle, takes a funny hop. Desi Gia Morales flips over to Steph Collett, who is manning second base, and that will do it. So Michaela Yankovich looking
really good.
Looking very good so far. She's faced the first 7. She's allowed just the 1 hit. That was soft contact that fell in that awkward spot.
What do they say, Eric? Quick game's a good game.
Quick game is a good game. These games are 7 innings or 90 minutes. So thank you very much for everybody tuning in and watching. Don't forget to donate. The link is on our comments. Working with Minus 18. They're all about celebrating, educating, and advocating, but also need more funding to make this all happen as we celebrate Pride Round 2022.
Umpire shirts look impressive, don't they, with the word Pride on the back of them. Very nice.
How good has all of those different uniforms and jerseys looked? Even the socks look good today, but
they do.
Last night looked like a heck of an atmosphere. Did you make it up the hill for that game?
No, I didn't. It's
did you watch it on TV?
Fair way to walk. No, I didn't watch it on TV, but I did hear the results. They said in the men's game, it took 45 minutes before a person got on base.
And then there wasn't a run in the women's game.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of runs last night.
No.
Well, this game started at 4 p.m. local time. It will end after 90 minutes or 7 innings, whatever comes first. No new innings after 85. Chelsea Robinson up to bat, Team Australia. She was on the list of that team that went over to Japan just before the Olympics last year, so she can swing it just as well as anybody almost in the country.
Yeah, there's some hitting here. Robinson, Roberts, Gray when she's going.
You'd be shocked.
Ramsey.
You'd be shocked to learn, Lee, that she's #1 on Walkerville in terms of batting average.
I'm not shocked at all.
Oh, okay. Yo Grauer, does she change her approach, Yo Grauer, going when she's facing someone like Chelsea in the leadoff spot? Do you attack her more, or are you fine?
I think she probably wants to attack because it's she wants to get on top of Chelsea. She knows how good she is.
Because of the bat speed.
That's right, bat speed. And so it's always a challenge. It's like when pitchers face each other, like when Steph bats against Yo or Yo bats against Steph.
Robinson sees the plate very well. She is a catcher by trade, so she knows what that strike zone looks like.
Yep.
Slips away, so she'll have 3 balls racked up on her. Leadoff runner would be huge to try to get Sophie Roberts to the plate. She leads the team in RBI, Sophie Roberts.
Yep. 3 balls here. 2 strikes, full count. Something's going to happen on this pitch.
What's she throwing? Up down the middle, and it goes into center field. Diving forward, Amelia Dolphin. She made a good effort. Chelsea Robinson will stand into second.
Yep.
Excellent running?
Excellent base running then. She did everything possible, humanly possible, Amelia. Dolphin fins out. She was down, horizontal to the ground, was in the glove and just fell out with momentum. But terrific base running from Chelsea. Experienced player. They do things like that.
It was in her glove.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leading team's replay shows it just kind of hit the ground.
Yep.
And that's when the ball.
And that's what happens in cricket, don't they? They come down, the cricketers come down, they've caught it, but their elbows hit the ground, the ball drops out.
It's a great effort from Amelia Dolphin.
Yeah. You can't ask for anything more than that as a coach.
So the Cats leading RBI machine in Sophie Roberts. She's got a penchant for the clutch over the last few years. Steps up to bat with no outs and a runner in scoring position.
Just needs to make the ball land out in the green somewhere for a run, the opening run.
Ball hit over towards short. Robinson holds, now goes for the run. They'll throw across the diamond. Engler trying to make the play. Ball squeezes away, and Chelsea Robinson has the first run of the game. Cats up 1-0. Leading teams replay, Lee.
Yeah, and look how smart Chelsea is here. She got off, she got a lead off, fielded Chile, picked it up. She waited till she threw it, and then she challenged Elizabeth to throw the ball straight. And it was just a little, took Charlize at third a little way off the base there. So no chance of an out, but smart base running by Robinson scores the run.
Is that a play you'd almost be better just holding on to the ball at first in that instance, just not forcing the play? Yeah,
well, I'm not sure whether Chile realised where Chelsea was in relation to between third and second, between second and third. So, yes, it's a good point.
There's a look at the leading team's replay. You can see Chelsea Robinson avoid running into the tag, and then she took off.
Yep.
And I think she was always going to be safe.
Yeah. But just awareness in the field. Because normally you can pick something up when people are running, especially with cleats on, you can hear them running. So if they're running loud, that means they're getting close to you. Yeah, it's one of those plays. And
Jenny Gray up to bat. He'll be looking to Jenny Gray to try to rally a few hits.
Yeah, and Yo seems to be there's a couple going here, there, and just not like herself. I'm sure she'll get back in the zone like that.
Walks.
That's a good pitch, isn't it?
Walks are, you don't want to call it an issue for Yo, but when teams do score against her, it's when she is allowing those free bases.
Yep.
Right now, it's just that hit from Chelsea Robinson to center field that Amelia Dolphin made a great effort on, that she reached second and got brought around on a throwing error, and now
good batting.
Jenny Gray, very patient at bat, Lee, and she's aboard.
Yep. It just seems like Yo hasn't found the complete rhythm here. I know she's throwing hard, but she's thrown a fair few of them around and about.
Walkerville do have the ability to score some runs, but they've been a bit inconsistent. Bunt laid, moving in to make the play. Chillingworth over towards, or Callahan rather, over towards first. They make the play, they advance the runner. Leading team's replay. Bunt sailed a little bit.
Yeah, she was on the quick, wasn't she, Charlize? And a good throw.
Michaela Yankovich, the pitcher.
She'd love to get a hit now and score another run, wouldn't she? Put it in the bank.
It's a very dangerous Port Adelaide side, yeah.
At times I think Yo, personally, this is just my own view, it sort of rushes through her work.
Fouled away. Still no strikeouts from Yo yet, and she's a very high strikeout volume pitcher. 0-2 count, has a chance to get one here.
Free hit.
And it's the first strikeout of the day for Yo Grauer, but the Cats pounce and they get on the board early. We've played two. Walkerville lead 1-0. So that is the first strikeout of the day that Yo Grauer has. That's the third overall. It means I'm $9 in the hole now.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get it up to about 45.
$45?
Well, my maths isn't as good as yours.
I wouldn't mind that. That's okay. That would be supporting the Pride Round with -18, a fantastic organization in Pride Round. Don't forget to go on the comments section, click that link and donate. Any amount will do, $1, $2, $30, $500, whatever. Hey Lee, since we've last made that last announcement, we've now raised another further $101. So we're up to $434 raised. The goal is $500.
Fantastic.
Another $9 coming their way after the game.
Yep.
That's 43, so there we go. So thank you to everybody that's reaching into their pockets and donating. You can do so now on Give Now. Just search Adelaide competition, softball pride round. All the teams have got involved. There is some more coming. I reckon we're going to smash that 500. Hopefully we get there this game from the generosity of our listeners, but also from these pitchers trying to, you know, add up the Balnar donation total. It's $9 so far. I chose $3 because it's $1 per strike.
Well, I would contribute. I have. I bought a shirt and I've bought $20 worth of raffle tickets for the cause.
Did you win?
Well, I haven't heard that yet. I'm expecting to. Otherwise, I'll burn the place down.
Lee Hole has never lost a raffle. That's a fun fact about Lee.
It's true. It's true.
4 for 4. You've entered four raffles in your entire life, and you've won every one.
Yeah, and so this is another one, so we'll see how we go.
Putting the perfect record on the line. Charlie Nash leading things off, a very young player, one of the youngest in the competition. He's 15 or 16 years old.
Yes. I was talking to Coach Ben Lucas early in the season before it started, and I said, what's Charlie Nash about? He said, hitting the ball as well as anybody in the trainings, in the pre-season and that, so showed a lot, I would think.
Well, Ben Lucas also said she's not just on the team, she's on the team because she's earned her spot in the competition from how she carries herself in training around some of the veterans. And what a great opportunity for young Charlie Nash, among now a couple calf coral medalists on the team, plus a college softball player and Elizabeth Engler, and Charlie Nash opposite field. That one goes foul. And also players, of course, like Jess Neves. It's a good environment for someone like that to be around.
Certainly is, and they're playing, and they've got a smile on their face. We're talking about smiles on their face. How about Gemma Letton, the smiling assassin, you call her?
She is the smiling assassin, not in the lineup today.
I call her the Riverland Road Runner.
Both
she can run.
Very apt nicknames, Lee. And it's a strikeout. Michaela Yankovich gets strikeout number 3 on the day. That's $12 total. That's 4 combined. But Michaela Yankovich, 3 strikeouts in the first 8 batters she's faced. A very, very pleasant start for her.
She's doing really well, Michaela.
Jess Neves, in just her second game, she did get on base. Didn't get a hit, but got on base and later scored in her last game in a 7-3 win over Hills. That played a big part in Port Adelaide being in a position to clinch a final spot with a win today.
Yes, I saw that game. She got on first game back and she got on base. Every time I looked, she was on base, so that was good. Loves the game, Jess.
Big game for Port Adelaide. West Torrens and Sturt sit firmly at the top of the table, tied with 28 points. Port Adelaide sitting in third with 22 entering this game. If they win it, they go to 24 and they keep in touch. There's still a chance of catching them because they do play them, the top 2, and getting the double chance game. If they lose this game, then they're really in no man's land, aren't they? They're 5 points clear of 4th. If they lose this game, they'd be 6 points clear of 5th, but they'd be 6 points clear or behind 2nd. So it's a game where they try to determine whether they want to keep in touch with the top or float back down to the pack. They're kind of in the middle right now. Neves straight up in the air. A good effort from Chelsea Robinson. Runs out of real estate, and that drifts foul, so it's 2 strikes on Neves. Michaela Yankovich only with 39 strikeouts in the 70 innings pitched entering the game. She's already got 4 and 2 2/3.
I tell you what, she's looking the goods so far here. Hard to pitch to Jess in a very small strike zone.
You have to be on.
And she takes advantage of it too. She's well aware that they have to pitch really well to get me in trouble.
Neves still staying alive, just slashing anything away she thinks is remotely close to the zone.
She's a very experienced player, Jess. The sort of player you want to coach. You want people so coachable, just delightful person.
They call her the magician around these parts.
Yep.
And she's battled herself back into a decent count. It's a full one. She was behind early. A very good 9 hitter. She can turn the table for Amelia Dolphin and Taylor Chillingworth following up, but
it's an important spot in the lineup, isn't it, number 9 hitter, because you get on, you got the big guns coming.
And again, battling away, so it's going to be a 7-8 pitch at bat or so.
This is getting your money's worth, isn't it?
And a plucky at-bat from Jess Neves just works her way back in the favorable count, fouls a few away, and it's the second base runner of the day for Port Adelaide.
Don't you love that, Eric? Number 9 hitter, you know, they're not expecting too much of you. See if you can get on. Real great turn at bat.
Amelia Dolphin back at the top of the lineup.
One out. Will they go short?
This is a deep lineup when they're at full strength.
Yeah.
Slot in Gemma Letton, and my goodness.
Rounds it out.
First pitch strike thrown by Michaela Yankovich. She has that fastball. She also throws that changeup that she's starting to rely on a little bit more, isn't she?
Yep. 2 strikes. The runner, Jess, is still anchored at first. I'll throw the pitch away from her here because she's going to be after something. Good choice.
She had some error to work with up ahead 0-2.
Yeah. The skill can hit, Amelia. So you can't just throw something down the middle. It'll go. Good discipline.
Saw Yankovich get ahead in the last batter versus Jess Neves, and she worked her way back on. Now she's standing on first.
2-2 count. She's probably going to swing at this, I reckon.
And she did swing at it. It was up high, though.
Yep.
Neves standing on first. She normally would be a big stolen base threat. She does have some wheels. However, she is working her way back into playing conditions. She just had a child, Jess Neves.
Yeah, well, that would take a lot out of you.
She said before the game she got on base, and
yeah,
she was huffed when she crossed home later on.
When she got past the home, she was puffed as well.
But you know that it's coming from Jess Neves. She is a very good athlete. And there's that change-up, and it's a drop third strike. They're going to get the force out over at second. So the drop third strike, they'll trade that off. So Amelia Dolphin will strike out and end up on first base. That's the 4th strikeout of the day. So that's $12 from Michaela Yankovich alone. Oh, she
automatically out. That's right.
She rolled him out, so it wasn't a jump.
But the ball's fair, you see, so that's why you do. Because when we played,
it's a double play.
Yeah, when we played men's, Dick Coombe used to catch. I was at first, and we'd call out go. He'd deliberately drop the 3rd strike, and we'd pick the runner off at second as well, like that.
So that's exactly what happened, and it's a crafty little 2-out play here to get the runners off the board. So we're heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Walkerville have a 1-0 lead. Michaela Yankovich, 4 strikeouts so far in her first 3 innings. That is a fantastic start for her, and it's put me $12 out of pocket so far. So make sure you go on to that link that's in this live stream link. Give now, search the Adelaide competition, and support -18 and the Adelaide Competition Pride Round hosted by West Torrens Softball Club. We're up to $434 of the $500. Hey, if someone else is doing this as well and pledging per strikeout, even if it's just $1, leave it in the comments, please, because then we can have a collective amount that we can say we're donating. Right now, $3 per strikeout. Yo Grauer will try to get to work and try to add that tally. She's got 1 so far. Aaron Reed, Sophie King, and Steph Collett due up. Aaron Reed, the 9 batter, and King and Collett, number 2. 1 and 2. So we'll turn things over. Walkerville looking to add. They have had a very impressive start to this game.
Just got to keep it going.
Now they've kind of put the pressure on Yo Grauer, haven't they?
Yep.
Aaron Reed takes the first pitch strike.
Such a competitor, isn't she, Yo? You wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of her. She'd be letting the couple come in really hard.
Chopped over to the right side.
It's probably the first time Bindy's fielded one for a while. I've seen her in the baseball. She plays women's baseball. No Tim Mead here today, so he's absent.
And it's a big strikeout from Yo Grauer, so strikeout number 2 for her, 6 on the day. That's $18 from my pocket, going to minus 18. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for Yo Grauer. Yeah,
I would contribute, but I couldn't afford to deposit on a box of matches.
It's getting expensive, isn't it?
It is. But you're full of money, so you told me. We still haven't found out what division you play in the baseball.
It's the one that pays me all that money to be able to pledge $3 per strikeout.
I'm having a guess it's Div 7 or Div 8, but I may be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Can't tell you. Can't reveal that. This is a softball stream, sir.
Oh, yes.
Sophie King up to bat. She tried to lay down that bunt on the first at bat.
Yep.
Would you go for a play like that again to try to catch them off guard, or are you just now expecting that as a defense?
I'm going hitting.
You see Elizabeth Engler creeping in over at first base. I don't know if we have that wide shot of the defensive alignment, but you can see Engler being prepared for it.
Yeah.
She creeps in as the at-bat gets closer to pitch. Watch her over on the first base side.
Looks like a softballer, doesn't she? Got the stance of a softballer.
Well, a 4-pitch walk. So that is some serious speed that gets put on the base pass for Sophie King.
Leading by 1, surely a bunt here. 1 out.
She's got 7 stolen bases, Sophie King. Runs come at a premium versus Yo Grauer. Good block from Jess Maslin.
Wasn't that excellent, Jess? And she was up ready to fire. King, you'd gone too far. I'm going short.
Tried to put some mustard.
No need to now.
Kingy was having a look at 3.
Yes, she was. When you've got leg speed, you can do that, can't you?
Well, now a runner in scoring position for Steph Collett. On the season, she's hitting .385 with runners in scoring position.
Pretty good, isn't it? .385. Very good. The thing you can't do now with a runner in scoring position is go down looking. There was a game during the week, or was it last Saturday? Might have been Wednesday night, when there was about 8 gone down looking batters. That's a lot. Too many.
So they're dying wondering.
Yeah, especially with runners at second in scoring position. You know, if you have a bad swing, coaches take that on board. That's fine. But if you just go down shouldering arms, no, you'll never know.
Called strike. Steph Collett had started her strut over towards first.
It's full.
Steph doesn't like it.
Oh,
but she cracks
shot.
one to the outfield. Sophie King is going to get held up at third, so she has a look at moving to home, and during that time, Collett rounded first, and she'll be standing on second on the back of that throw into the infield.
Wasn't that a great shot in the hole there between third and shortstop? Nothing much you can do that, and Kingy was right. Coach Collett held her up there. She would have been cut down at the plate.
Runners on second and third for Desi Gia-Morales, and then Chelsea Robinson is the batter looming after this, so it's not an easy prospect at all.
1 out, you know what I'd do now? Squeeze.
You'd squeeze?
Yeah, I would, because that's the thing they won't be expecting.
Even with Chelsea Robinson?
Look at the first base player, Elizabeth. She's gone back a bit.
Even with Chelsea Robinson, knowing that if you just don't get out here, Chelsea's going to get a chance to swing it?
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to speculate to accumulate.
I like that. Can that go on your tombstone too?
No, there's not enough room.
Maybe it can be on the plaque in front of your tombstone.
Sounds reasonable.
How about on the bench?
My favourite position, on the bench.
Swing and a miss from Desi Gia-Morales, quickly behind 0-2.
Even more reason why I'd be going squeeze.
Now they really wouldn't expect it.
No.
2 runners in scoring position. Grauer trying to work her way out of a jam. And Gia Morales does just enough to stay on it to poke it foul. Walkerville coming out, throwing a couple punches towards the jugular today versus the Magpies. Ball hit over towards second. It's blocked. They don't hold the runner at first. The ball dropped over, and it's going to score 2 runs. A costly error as Gia Morales stands on second, and Walkerville take advantage and now have a 3-run advantage.
And that's what happens when you put the ball on the deck, doesn't it? It can happen, and it did.
It's just going to be the 1 RBI for Desi Gia Morales. The throw just a little wayward over, made it really difficult.
Well, they've certainly come out to play today, haven't they? The Cats. My goodness.
Now Chelsea Robinson still has a runner in scoring position. She's got 10 ribbies on the season. Desi Gia Morales just gets the 1 RBI.
In the game on Wednesday night, I think it was, Chelsea went down looking with 2 runners on. I couldn't believe it.
Over towards third. Callahan across the diamond makes the play, so a dangerous bat retired, but another one coming up in Sophie Roberts, 2 down.
Yep. And the reason I mentioned that, because a class player like Chelsea, that wouldn't happen again, and I couldn't believe I saw it.
Sophie Roberts. Hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. She's had 27 plate appearances in this situation.
Just to be a good time to make one land. Big, powerful girl, cricketer, isn't she?
Hitting .320 this season, too.
Yep. Well,
about par for the course for her.
It lands in the green. Desi will score.
They'll be looking to pad their run. This is a dangerous batting side of Port Adelaide.
That's a terrific pitch. Girl this size, this stamp, power, keep the ball away so she can't turn on it. Throw it inside and low.
1-2 count.
Like that.
Well, she gets her 3rd strikeout of the afternoon, but 2 runs cross the plate, and through 3, Walkerville lead by 3. Well, we're now up to 7 strikeouts on the day. 4 from Yankovich. No, never mind. Yes, 4 from Yankovich. And we are up to 3 from Yo Grauer. So 7 times 3, that's $21 that I have now.
7 threes are 21, you can't go.
$21 dues.
Yeah. Well done.
Up to $434 overall. So please jump on board and donate to -18. But what a start for Michaela Yankovich. She's faced 10 batters so far. She struck out 4, and Port Adelaide haven't had a runner past first base in their first 3 innings.
No, that's surprising, isn't it? Surprising to us all here. People in the stand, they say, what's going on here?
Is the test right now going to be the second time through, knowing that due up in this inning you have Taylor Chillingworth, then you have Grauer and Maslin, and if she doesn't survive that, Charlize Callahan and Elizabeth Engler are standing by to mop things up.
This will test them right here, I think.
You reckon this might be one of the innings you would look back at the end of the game and say, this was a big moment, navigated through some murky waters. We're over halfway through in terms of time.
It's nice to get 1 run at a time back, but I've got a feeling they might get a couple this innings, Port.
Well, Michaela Yankovich has been up for the challenge so far. Off-speed pitch comes in. It gets through. Sophie Roberts at third. She tries to recover and make the play, and Chillingworth will get on her bike and get over to second. So just like that, runner in scoring position. Probably a throw that was always going to be a little ambitious in terms of retiring the runner, wasn't it?
You're on a hiding the nothing. The runner's already standing on first looking for a cup of tea.
So a free base.
This could be the innings, I think, for a couple.
Free base for Yo Grauer. She's hitting She's got pretty good numbers with runners in scoring position, Yo Grauer. Hitting .538, but grounds out to second. Still advances the runner.
That's the job.
And sets things up for Jess Maslin. Maslin with 10 ribbies on the season.
Yeah, well, now with the runner at third, one out, all you need to do is not go over hitting the ball. Don't overthink it. Just make it land somewhere. It'll be a run. Get through the infield or lands on the green, it's a run.
And you said one run at a time, Lee.
Yep.
Hits it hard towards center field. Ranging back is Bianca Ramsey, and Ramsey couldn't bring it in. It's an RBI to Jess Maslin, who stands on two. Chillingworth scores, and the Magpies are on the scoreboard.
And she's hurt, Ramsey.
She went in hard, didn't she?
Yeah. She hit the fence hard. So she's all right.
You'll get a look at the leading team's replay here. Maslin got a good piece of it. Here's Ramsey. She was ranging way back, fighting the sun, and she crunched into that wall. Is it her leg, or did she get a bit winded even?
Yeah,
no, it's her ankle.
Ankle.
So she's coming out of the game. She got all of the fence. You saw that on the leading team's replay. Here's a look at it. She almost had it too. And there's, ooh, she came in hard on her wrist. Her ankle kind of jammed up.
It was a huge shot, wasn't it, from Jess?
And look, she even banged up her lip. I think it was her lip, her wrist, her ankle, a little bit of everything. Wall one, Bianca Ramsey 0.
Looks like Kelsey Barker coming in, replacing her at center field.
Ramsey made a really nice play on the first bat of the game with an over-the-shoulder catch. She's pretty tough, Bianca Ramsey, though, and she is smiling. She's already walking a bit stronger, too. I'm sure a bit of shock goes in there, but...
Plays baseball as well.
She does for the undefeated Sturt Saints. Bindi Stansfield also plays on that team, and she's having a heck of a season. So when it all comes out in the wash here, Jess Maslin has an RBI, and she's put the Magpies on the board, and it's still a dangerous part in the lineup with Charlize Callahan and Elizabeth Engler coming up to bat. There's a runner in scoring position and only one out.
Yeah, well, 2 runs, repeat of earlier message, dare I say.
So it's just a straight swap. Kelsey Barker in for Bianca Ramsey, and that's why right there on the leading team's replay. This was always going to be a danger inning, and 1 run still okay for Walkerville.
2 makes it difficult. Puts the pressure on, back on the hitters, and a pitcher like Yo Grau will welcome that.
Callahan steps in. Big moment for her, hitting .265 on the season. She's got 5 extra base hits, so you know that she's got the ability to swing.
Yep.
Swings at the first pitch. They'll check the runner at third, throw across the diamond. It was a nice play by Sophie Roberts. 2 down. Well, here's a good chance for Elizabeth Engler to introduce herself to the South Australian audience. The American, coming off a season in Germany after 5 years in college, comes up with runners in scoring position. She struck out in her first at-bat and was a lengthy at-bat in her first go in the second inning.
Catcher speed up. Jess Maslin comes off. Get ready to catch the next innings, and Charlize Callahan runs into her place. She was the last batter out.
Port looking to score multiple innings or runs in this inning. Runner goes.
Held her hands back well on the change-up, didn't she? But couldn't get into play. Had she done so, she would have been an easy out at first. And Walkerville would take that now. They want to close it down this innings now. 2 down.
There's that change again.
Back-to-back changes.
Outside, so a 2-2 count. Engler working herself back in a bit more of a favorable position.
Just got to be careful when you're on base with 2 out with a catcher like Chelsea Robinson. She'll gun you down if you go.
Charlize Callahan, the base runner right now, I believe.
Yep.
Swing and a miss. Yankovich gets her 5th strikeout of the day. And that keeps, again, the runners at bay. It could have been a dangerous inning. She only allows the 1. And we head to the bottom of the 4th, and it's a 3-1 Walkerville lead.
Good comeback then by Michaela.
That's 8 strikeouts, 8 times 3 is 24.
Correct.
I can confirm that math, Lee. That means that that's what I'm on the hook, going towards supporting Pride, and minus 18. We started the broadcast just over $300, and generosity of our listeners have stepped up here. 434 raised plus another 24 that will come their way after the game, or more. Hopefully there's a little bit more. So we're getting close to that goal of 500. A great effort by everybody in the softball community in Pride Round. Still a little bit of ways to go in this one. Another half hour or so.
Full count on the batter, so the count was incorrect. So Elizabeth bats on.
Right. So it's not a strikeout.
No, not yet.
Runners have come back out. Now it's a strikeout. Does that count as double?
Well, it's different, isn't it? Should do.
It was a strikeout, then it wasn't a strikeout, now it's a strikeout again. So now we head to the bottom of the 4th.
And identical swings on both of them.
That was wacky.
Interesting. Batters 6, 7, 8, and 9 for the Walkerville Cats this time. Try to get that 1 run back.
Taylor Oates, Charlie Nash, and Jess Neves will be up next for Port Adelaide when they bat, so they're down to their bottom part of the lineup. That really was the good opportunity with batters 2 through 6 coming up. They had a leadoff runner aboard for Port Adelaide, and they only managed to score 1 run.
Yep.
Walkerville, though, have been pretty impressive. They were retired 1, 2, 3 in the first inning. They scored 1 run. Chelsea Robinson got aboard with a hit towards center field and then brought around off the back of a walk and then an error, and Chelsea Robinson scored. It was 1-0. That last digs, the first batter struck out, but then a walk, a hit, and then a throw-in error in the RBI to Desi Gia Morales. 2-run score. Walkerville went up 3-0. Now it's a 3-1 lead. As we start the bottom of the 4th, Yo Grauer, very important in this bottom part of the lineup. She just keeps that score total a little bit low right here and keeps it a chaseable amount for her bats.
She's going to face 4. She needs to sit 3 of them down here, I think. So that's a prediction. 4 batters to face Yo, and 3 going. without any addition to the score.
Any strikeouts?
No, 2.
2 strikeouts, all right.
Gee, you're asking a lot now.
Jenny Gray up to bat. Yo behind early. Slips away, so 3 straight balls to start the inning for Yo Grauer.
I may have to revisit those 2 strikeouts. I'm gonna look at that pitch. Did you play today? Did you play?
I did.
Any runs?
I scored 4 runs. I was 4 for 5.
I've asked you this question before. Did you steal any bases?
I did steal a couple bases.
Don't tell me the age of the catcher that you played against was 13.
Oh, a little younger.
A good pitch, Yo.
She got back in the count, hasn't she?
I'm going to have finished with egg on my face if she doesn't.
She might yet get the strikeout, Lee. It's a 3-2 count. She was behind 3-0. Jenny Gray makes some contact. Engler, easy play, 1 down. Kelsey Barker will step in for Bianca Ramsey.
Yep.
Just so you know, we don't have the center field cam at the moment, a little offline, because when Kelsey Barker, or when Bianca Ramsey rather, ran into the wall, knocked the camera. Although it's back up and fixed. That camera's taken a battering today. Earlier, Maddie Cameron plonked a home run straightaway center field off the scaffold, too.
I think the camera's in the wrong position by the sound of that, Eric. What do you think?
Well, looks like a pretty good angle on your TV screen there, Lee. Come on now.
I'm just asking for your opinion.
That was yoinked, the shot from Maddie Cameron earlier.
I missed that.
Off Steph Jasinski to ice that game.
Yeah, that's interesting results. 9-2, West Torrens beat them the previous time, I think it was, and now 6-1.
Well, I think it's almost a certainty at some point they will meet in the finals.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
And that will be a classic, as it has been the last couple times they've met.
It'll go down the wire.
Both teams on 28 points at the top right now. Port Adelaide sitting at 22 and a little down the ladder at 14 points in 5th. They're trying to get to 17 points. They played 1 more game than the Hills. This is a crucial game for Walkerville.
This is a huge game for Walkerville.
They can't really afford to only have 4 games to go and be a game and a half back of the last spot with a couple games and with a game in hand. So they really do need to win this game. And it's against a very tough opponent in Port Adelaide. They've played well so far, the Cats.
Certainly have.
And there's a strikeout. Yo Grauer gets her 4th one of the day. It's 9 in the game so far. It's $27 going to -18 from my pocket to them. Michaela Yankovich up to bat. Probably important that she keeps working efficiently, Yo Grauer, to keep batters at a minimum, to keep Chelsea Robinson, Sophie Roberts, that 4-5 hole that's really so dangerous for Walkerville, with as much time between at-bats as possible.
Yeah, she seems to be a lot of high pitches and a lot of low pitches today. A couple have got away from Jess, which tells me that they're pretty low because Jess is an excellent catcher. Whack.
You'd hear that one.
Yes. I heard umpire Brett Tyler go, ooh, I'm sure it was him that said that. Could this be the second K2?
Outside. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-run lead for Walkerville. Slashed foul, stays alive. Yankovich struck out in her first at-bat, swinging. We've just ticked past the 5 o'clock mark here in South Australia, so we're an hour through the game. Game will end at 5:30 local time. So time's starting to tick away. Only a couple more innings maybe in this game.
No 6 o'clock game tonight, no grade.
No, last night, Friday night, was played instead on the first game of Pride Round in a 0-0 encounter between Hills and Glenelg.
7 innings.
Great effort for Glenelg to get another point in that one. And Hills, that might be a handy point, because if Walkerville hold on here, then that extra point is what separates Hills from being in the finals and not, but it's a big strikeout from Yo Grauer. She gets 2 in the inning. She's got 5 on the day. It's 10 between the two teams, and through 4, Walkerville lead the Magpies 3-1 in Pride Round. Well, Yo Grauer, has settled down a little bit. She got the 2 strikeouts. She only faced the 3 batters there. That's the second inning she's had where she's worked the minimum. The last one was in the first one, showing signs of settling down, and they fell behind early, the Magpies, but now things looking settled. Can they use that? But it's going to be the 7, 8, 9 batters for Port Adelaide coming up in this inning.
Well, this could tell the tale, couldn't it, here? 7, 8, and 9. If the Cats can shut them down now, not allow, say, 2 people on with top of the lineup, Dolphin and then Chillingworth and Grauer, that'll go a long way to keeping their noses in front, I think.
They'll want to keep runners off the bases when Grauer and Maslin, the likes of them, come up to bat. Even Dolphin and Chillingworth. Yeah,
you just don't want your good hitters, or their good hitters, in this case, batting with people on.
It's been a very impressive start so far for Michaela Yankovich. She's allowed just a couple hits. Walked 1. And it looks like Bianca Ramsey making a return to center field. Yeah, she is. Yep. Ramsey back in. She ran in. She might have to get her lip taped up earlier. She cut herself on the fence running in there. She twisted her ankle. She hit her wrist. She did a whole bunch of everything, and a great effort on the catch. That was a
blood rule, I believe.
Big shot from Jess Maslin out towards center field.
Well, here's the game here, I think. If Walkerville can shut these 3 down, get out of there with nobody on, I think they'll go on and win.
Well, there's still some time, too.
Yeah, there is. But this is so important.
If they could shut them down and then put up a big inning.
In this stage of the game, you don't need to be too fancy pitching. You just need to get them, buy some outs, buy a couple of cheap outs. Make them hit the ball to the infield or up in the air.
Right field goes foul. Cameraman, there's Jono. Very close. The camera's under assault today. Give us a wave, Jono. There he is. Does a great job. He's a massive Adelaide Extreme fan. That's the hat that he's got on in the Pro Hockey League here.
Oh, okay.
She's relied on that changeup a lot today.
She has. She's mixed it up very well. So excellent catching from the experienced catcher Robinson.
Leading team's replay from the foul ball before, heading towards Jono, and he almost made the catch. Better luck next time. He needs a glove.
I've got a message to the right fielder, Aaron Reid. It's the same old message I usually give the right fielders. Playing too deep. You can't afford the ball to lob in. That's better. Come in.
She heard you, Lee. Yep. Ball hit towards the center. Gia Morales, a nice play over towards first. Gray steps on the bag. And Desi Gia Morales.
Vintage Desi Gia Morales, wasn't it? Terrific. Got down, got dirty, got the out.
Nice look at the leading team's replay. And a crucial out just to keep someone off the board, like you said at the top of the inning, Lee. Charlie Nash showing bunt, probably the right call. But you don't like bunting on the first pitch, do you?
I tell you what, she's pitched very well, but how much credit goes to Chelsea Robinson? Excellent catcher, calling the right pitches so far.
Very experienced eyes behind the plate in Chelsea Robinson, and she frames one well there too. Although it was over the plate, so it's an 0-2 count. 5 strikeouts for Yankovich today. She strikes out about half a batter per inning, so she's much above her rate with 5 already through 4 1/3. Tried to go up high. It just slipped away a little bit.
Yeah. As I said, you don't need to be too fancy. Use your field when you've got good fielders like they have Walkerville. Use them, bring them into the game. The outs will mount up.
Nash stays alive. One run came off the bat of Jess Maslin in the last inning. That cut the lead from 3-0 to 3-1. Port Adelaide trying to mount their charge. They fell behind early. They've kept their head above water. But Walkerville just getting some good defense and good pitching.
Need to sit these two down.
Nash with a booming hit towards left field. Sophie King doesn't miss those often, and that trend continues.
Good piece of the ball, though, wasn't it, from Charlie?
It was. 2 down. Jess Neves. Well, the time right now, Lee, 5:08, so I think we'll get one more inning in if we continue this rate. We could get 7, but likely just one more inning in. So the time and the outs starting to run out for the Magpies.
Centre field Ramsey and right field Reed need to keep coming in.
Magpies don't win today. Their hopes of finishing top 2 and getting that double chance game are all but dashed. Not mathematically out of it, but they would need a lot to go their way.
You like to have it in your own hands, don't you? Where you finish.
They would also clinch a final spot if they win here.
Yep.
Walkerville, if they lose this game, well, they're in a world of trouble going into the last 4 games for them of the season. They would probably need to go perfect in those last 4.
Yep, and he'll slip up.
If they win, it's game on.
I think they're trying to buy an out with these high pitches here in this particular innings. Like throw it up, see if you can get somebody sucked in and just pop it in the air.
Who's calling that, Chelsea?
Yeah,
Behind
Chelsea. Yeah. And that's the advantage you young people have.
Swing and a miss.
When they have an experienced catcher.
She's played a bit of shortstop this year, Chelsea Robinson, too, hasn't she?
Excellent at shortstop.
Ball magnet.
Mm-hmm.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-run lead. Yankovich trying to guide this one in. Neves to Gia Morales. She's made 1 play this inning. Now she's made 2. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Michaela Yankovich has pitched wonderfully in her 5 innings, allowing just the 1 run. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Walkerville looking to add on. And it's a good part of the lineup, Lee. They've got Erin Reed, then Sophie King, then Steph Collett.
Certainly is, but that innings there was just what they wanted to catch. 3 up, 3 down. Now they have to deal with the leader next innings. Once again, we're up to 10 strikeouts on the day, 5 apiece for each of the batters. That's, I pledged $3 at the beginning of the game to -18 in the theme of Pride Round. So we encourage everybody to give now. Head to the Adelaide Competition Softball Pride Round page on Give Now. It's also tagged in the comments of this Facebook stream. So please give generously or not. You can any amount works pretty well too. Yo Grauer back in the circle. There's a look at Jono on camera. He's now got a baseball glove. You saw that in the last inning where the ball floated over towards our cameraman and he had that one hand. He's ready now. Has he got the skill to catch it though?
Well, he was in position the last one. He's got the gear at least. Or is it all the gear, no idea? That doesn't sound right when I say it. If you say it, say all the gear and no idea.
No, I can't say that. It's a very ordinary saying.
All the gear, no idea. There's my accent. I am Aussie, you know. Erin Reed up to bat.
You sound more like an Aussie every day.
Ah, cheers, mate. Bunted up in the air. Elizabeth Engler makes a quick play, 1 down. But back to the top of the lineup now. It'll be the 3rd time through, and Sophie King and Steph Collett both scored when they came up. It was the same position in the 3rd inning. Erin Reed led things off. She got out, and then Sophie King walked. Collett had a hit, and then both of them scored later on in the 3rd inning to make it a 3-0 game at the time. King has some wheels. Can she do it again?
Yeah, I think she can. She's got the class to do it, but I'd be taking my time here in the batting box, not just going after the first pitch and making the time just dissipate. Just go away a bit. Give Port Adelaide less chance of doing it.
Swings at the second pitch, and Neves bobbles it a little bit, and you have no room for error when Sophie King's going down the line.
It's leg speed that beats you. That's all that did.
And errors have been the story of the day for the Port Adelaide defense. 2 errors have cost them 2 runs so far. So Steph Collett with a speedy player, and Sophie King, she was showing bunt. King gets down. She steals second quite cleanly. So now it's a runner in scoring position. She didn't even have to lay down the bunt to do it.
Well, leg speed. If you've got wheels, it makes a big difference when you're on base, doesn't it? It's just getting on base to use them.
Even if the throw was in time, Sophie King slid in quite easily, didn't she?
Yep.
And she's going to put some more pressure on the base pass. You just got to be conscious of her on that left side of the diamond if you're Charlize Callahan and Taylor Chillingworth. So she gets on because of an error and now causing some havoc around the diamond. Lob foul, 2 strikes on Steph Collett. An insurance run would do a wonder for the Walkerville Cats here.
You just need to shorten up and just punch the ball somewhere. Try and punch it somewhere.
Tough part of the lineup coming up for Port Adelaide when they get to bat, and it's likely going to be their last opportunity.
Yep.
Down low, Maslin blocks. She's going to throw over to third, and standing up, Sophie King is now a base away from scoring a crucial 4th run for the Cats.
I think that's when somebody in the infield should be yelling out, no throw. No point in that. You're on a hiding to nothing. The runner's standing at third.
And that's exactly how they scored 2 runs today, haven't they? The throw across from first to third, and then another one from third to first.
There's times in this game when you need to play the percentage play. That was one.
They got away with it, but Sophie King, either way, was always going to be standing on third. 2-2 count.
This is a good turn-up bat by Steph, isn't it?
He's allowed Sophie King to get around to third, and she's worked a count and now chopped it foul.
And using time as well.
"10 minutes before the game can be called at the earliest, which means we're probably not getting through that 6th inning. Hard hit up the middle, and it scores a run. A great at-bat from Steph Collett. Drives in a 4th run for Walkerville, and they restore the margin of 3.
Terrific turn it back from Steph Collett, wasn't it?
She's had 2 hits today, Steph Collett.
And just came up with the goods. You can't do anything about that defensively except field the ball and throw it in.
Desi Gia-Morales has played a really nice game defensively. She reached on the air last inning. That helped score the run.
Well, I think Yo's under a bit of pressure here, so this is why I'd be taking my time batting. I wouldn't be chasing the first pitch. Just make her work harder. Put the pressure back on the pitcher.
Walkerville need points today. They would have been the underdogs heading into the game, the Cats. Up high. Chelsea Robinson standing on deck. Unless it's a double play, she'll get a turn at bat. That error looming large. That would have been the 2nd out of the inning. Instead, it turned into a run.
Playing with confidence now, aren't they, the hitters for the Cats? It's showing, getting results too.
They've worked their way back in counts on multiple occasions today.
The thing I've noticed a bit is the very quiet, the Port defence, isn't it? You know, like they're usually up and about and just they get home with a win here. The Cats is 2 interesting results, isn't it? Not a surprise that Sturt could beat West Torrens, but the margin is, and this will be a surprise.
A check swing from Gia Morales keeps the at-bat alive. 3-2 count.
Yep.
Well, there'd be 3 surprise results. A 0-0 draw doesn't happen very often either.
Yep, the first draw for the year. We talked about that last week.
Last year we had a bucket load of them, and a good pitch there from Yo Grauer gets the second one down. Her 6th strikeout of the day, another $3 going to -18.
Yeah, I reckon it was 6 or 7 last year. Draws everywhere there was.
Huge at bat coming up for Walkerville.
Yep.
Chelsea Robinson up to bat. She's got a runner on first. Extra base hit would probably score Steph College, who's got a little bit of speed over at first.
Yep. Good catching from Jess Maslin. Saved another base.
Robinson jammed a little bit, but it's in an awkward spot moving over to make the play. Taylor Chillingworth, but in the bottom of the 5th, Walkerville add 1 more run. The 6th is going to be the last inning, so it's going to be last chance saloon for the Magpies in the 6th inning. A 4-1 game. Things started off pretty well. Michaela Yankovich retired the first 4 batters that she's faced. She struck out 6 on the day. She's got a couple 1, 2, 3 innings. She's faced the minimum in 3 of the innings she's got, actually. 3 1, 2, 3 innings. 1 where she's allowed 1 base runner. She was threatened in the 4th with the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 batters all coming up to bat, only allowing the 1 run. And that's been a key moment in the game, and one of the big reasons it's only a 3-run, or it is a 3-run lead going into the 6th inning. So with only 5 minutes to go, it's pretty safe to assume this will be the last inning. And our last opportunity for everybody to say, please donate to -18. I'm donating $3 for every strikeout. That's $33 so far. But can Michaela Yankovich finish out this great game? She's been excellent so far, hasn't she?
She certainly has, but what Porter's got to do now is just come in the bat with a clear head and just know what has to be done. Don't just go chasing the first pitch. You don't have to win it yourself. Just try and build up some pressure. Put some pressure back on the Cats. Because when you're chasing, how many is it? 3-1. When you're chasing 2 runs to tie the game, you tend to want to go out there and swing and swing and swing, you know.
Getting an early out's going to be crucial, though, isn't it? When you have Amelia Dolphin and Taylor Chillingworth up, because following is Yo Grauer, Jess Maslin, and then Charlize Callahan. Yeah. So this is kind of all set up for Port Adelaide if they can get a couple runners on early.
Well, they're with the strength, aren't they? The top of the lineup, and you just mentioned the first 5, and then you've got Elizabeth Engler and Taylor Oates. Both of them can hit the ball. We saw Charlie Nash hit a long ball out to Sophie King, I think, last time she batted.
And it's the 3rd time through versus a young pitcher. Dolphin leads things off. Big inning here for both of the teams. Magpies trying to clinch a spot in the finals. Walkerville trying to keep the destiny in their own hands when it comes to their finals quest.
Yep. Well, it's there. It's there for the taking, isn't it? Right there.
For both teams.
You can just about reach it.
That run might prove to be very valuable that they've just scored in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And conversely, Walkerville don't need to go over cautious here and just try and pitch away, you know. Just get at them one at a time. Take the catches that come.
Towards right field. It's a line shot that drops in front of Erin Reed. She tried to make the play to first, but Amelia Dolphin, the leadoff runner, aboard.
Repeat of earlier message. I'm sorry to say that, but had she been in the normal, what I call my normal spot, that would have been an out. 1 out.
Instead, it's 1 on.
Yeah, that's right.
This becomes a crucial out. Otherwise, Yo Grauer will be coming to the plate as the tying run. And Chillingworth went after it right away up high.
Yep.
Chillingworth is 1 for 2 on the day. She had the single and later scored the only run of the day back in the 4th. Makes contact, goes foul. She's quickly behind 0-2.
Excellent pitch then. She was committed. chilly, and she was out there and it just went foul. No power. I think I'll throw that same pitch now. Chelsea knows what to call. Aaron, do not go back that deep. That's right. Keep coming in.
Up high. Three minutes away from time of game. Walkerville won't bat if they can defend these 3 runs.
Got to get some outs.
Chillingworth scoops down. It's in the air, fighting the sun. She's been sure-handed all day. Desi Giamorales makes a critical first out.
Excellent call of pitch by Chelsea Robinson then. Just the one they wanted, an out.
Well, there's a runner on. Yo Grauer up to bat, followed by Jess Maslin. Huge moment in the ball game.
Yep.
Right at the end of it.
This is when you don't throw the ball around. You know, Chelsea Robinson come up there looking just to keep Amelia Dolphin honest, but worst thing you can do is throw the ball and goes out to deep right field and puts a runner at third. Play the percentages.
Yo Grauer second on the team in batting, hitting .563, and she's 0 for 2 today. Who would tell you she's probably due.
Yeah, gee, Michaela's been terrific today.
She's
not long to go. Just keep going, girl.
Pitching fine right now. Can't be too fine because if Grauer gets on, the tying run comes to the
But
plate.
see what happens when the big guns come in the bat. You pitch carefully before you know where you are. She's up there at first. And Amelia's on second.
Four-pitch walk. And the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Jess Maslin, who's got the RBI today. She had a double earlier, a booming shot that went off the wall that Ramsey clanked into. And Jess Maslin.
Well, they need to get Jess out, don't they? Here.
A swing of the bat can tie the game.
Yep, simple scenario.
She's launched 2 home runs already. Flared to right field. Aaron Reed having a look. That goes foul. She was never bunting.
No. But see, Aaron's gone back further now. It's fine. She's a powerful hitter, Jess, but if this ball lands in, there's 1 run.
The wind is blowing in, too.
Yep.
Maslin, hard hit ball, center field. Ramsey tracking, holds on to the play. Runner will tag and advance to third. So we've got runners on the corners.
Good pitch.
And it's 2 out. Tying run still at the plate. And they're saying the runner didn't tag. They're saying Walkerville are challenging the fact that maybe Amelia Dolphin didn't tag up on time. So they were trying the old cheeky, I don't know if we have that on replay, on the leading team's replay of the runner over at second. Producer Brandon giving us the 1 minute. Let's see if we got it. Question is did the runner leave before the ball was caught? We'll get the replay up in between pitches. Charlize Callahan up to bat, representing the final out of the game. There will be no new innings after this.
Aaron coming.
Ball on the inside. Do we have the replay? Here it is. Here's a look at the leading team's replay. I'll call the action. You watch this replay. Oh, no, that's the wrong replay.
Yeah. Good pickup.
2-0 count. Well, a walk here would be a problem for putting Elizabeth Engler up to bat.
Wouldn't she just love that? Coming into the first game and produce the winner.
Nervous moments for both of the teams who both require a win for their season. Walkerville probably more so than Port Adelaide, however. Callahan in a hitter's count. Swings one towards center field. Ramsey moving over and makes the play. That will do it. Bianca Ramsey makes a catch, takes away runs, and gives the Cats a crucial victory.
That's a terrific hit, though, wasn't it, for nothing? It's a great shot from Charlize then.
Walkerville's defense solid all day, and if that drops, you have a runner in scoring position and 2 runs crossing the plate. Instead, Bianca Ramsey, who earlier crashed into that wall and had to leave the game because of the blood rule, has just ended it right here. But what a performance on or in the circle by Michaela Yankovich, holding a very dangerous lineup to just 1 run across 6 while striking out 5.
Outstanding.
A fantastic performance, and that will wrap up Pride Round here. We've had 3 very entertaining games with lots of intrigue. That'll be $33 that I'll donate to -18. But what an interesting weekend. A 0-0 score yesterday.
First one for the season.
First draw of the season. A 6-1 lead with a Maddie Cameron long shot. And now Walkerville get a crucial win to move just 1 point behind the final spot, and everything is on heading into the last month of the season.
And that was a fantastic result for the Cats, wasn't it?
A fantastic result, a fantastic couple of days at the Diamond, whether we were up in the hills or over here at Diamond Sports SA on beautiful Ghana land. That will do it for Pride Round on behalf of everybody at the ballpark, all 6 of the clubs partaking in Pride Round on behalf of Lee Hull and, of course, producer Brandon. This is Eric Ballnar saying good afternoon, and we'll see you later in the week.